All right. Are we on?
We're on.
We're on. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Here We Are podcast. This is episode number 16.
Is it?
Is it 16? Yes, 16. Episode number 16. Thanks for being with us for so long. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share it to your friends. We're at about 225 subscribers now, so we're on track to hit 1,000 in our first year. So we appreciate all the support from you guys. To support the podcast, subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/double_D. There you can access all of my written work, including poetry, flash fiction, and full-length short stories, all for less than what you spend on coffee or lunch every day. Show your loyalty, help us grow, help make our dream a reality. To further support the podcast, check out our sponsor, Bingley's Teas at janeaustenteas.com. There you can find high-end teas hand-picked and mixed by the lovely Miss Julia. Or visit Julia in person at 118 East 26th Street, suite number 208, to satisfy that deep tea addiction and to be taken on a tea tour of the world. All right, guys, here we are. Episode number 16. We're going free ball today. Feeling a little low energy, but we're going to try to build it up and get our heads straight and try to entertain you fucks. So, what was that? Last weekend, Johnny? Had a pretty eventful weekend. Went to Des Moines, Iowa for the
March to End Corporate Greed.
Yeah, the Bernie-hosted March to End Corporate Greed.
What do they call that big fundraiser dinner now? It used to be the Jefferson-Jackson dinner, but now it's the...
Yeah, so pretty much the
Liberty
and Justice celebration.
Oh.
So pretty much every year the Democratic Party in Iowa does like a fundraising / campaign / PR dinner thing called the Jefferson-Jackson dinner, which I assume is based off of, like, you know, Andrew Jackson. And
see, that's the thing. I think there's Jefferson-Jackson dinners all over the country.
Is there?
Like,
yeah, I think it's a Democratic Party thing.
I don't know why they changed the name of it. I thought that was kind of weird.
I don't know why they'd have the name of it be Jackson, who was pretty much a Republican. You know,
no, you're right. It's just the rebranding is just, I don't know.
But yeah, so this Jefferson-Jackson dinner... or celebration or whatever, they changed it to the Liberty and Justice celebration, which, if I'm honest, it's a good rebranding for, like,
I guess for some reason it just seems.
I feel like it's meant to like cater more towards like young liberals and stuff like that, just to kind of like.
I suppose.
I mean, it is a better name than the Jefferson-Jackson dinner in my opinion. It stands out more.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
But anyway, pretty much the Liberty and Justice celebration is this big PR / Democratic fundraising event. They had it at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. And the whole idea is, you know, the different candidates show up there and different, lobbyists and...
You can pay like $200 to go sit in the bleachers, or the campaigns will usually like pay for your tickets.
Yeah. And literally
on the floor is a bunch of wealthy donors.
And they're all eating and, like, drinking wine and stuff. So pretty much what it is, it's hilarious to me, because it's pretty much like if you're an average Joe Schmo from Kokomo, you pay fucking $100 to $200 to watch rich people eat and listen to people lie to you. Yeah. Like, that's essentially what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's definitely an emblem of, like, establishment Democrats and the status quo, raising money from big corporations, blah, 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 more of the same. And so the Bernie 2020 campaign organized an event in opposition to it, I guess I would say.
Pretty much.
Called the People's March to End Corporate Greed.
Which to some of the party loyalists that I know around here.
What'd they think of it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure they don't think anything good of Bernie when he does stuff like that. They're like...
He's stealing our thunder.
Yeah, I've literally been told that.
That's what
Bernie was stealing the thunder when he did a kind of his own event at the Wingding, which is like a smaller event.
Yeah, at a little bar and all that. That's the one where I spoke at. That was badass, dude. People
stole the thunder, dude.
Dude, that was so cool because, like, my favorite part of it was those young kids were going around with, was it Yang signs?
Yeah.
It was like, it's literally something seen out of like an 80s movie. It was like, you know, 12-year-old kids on bicycles, and they were like holding signs, and then it was originally Yang signs, I think, and then I came back out there and saw them. They were going around with Bernie Sanders signs. Yeah. And they were like, Bernie!
Yeah.
Which was just awesome as fuck.
And they were like 10 or 12. That's probably like 12.
Yeah, 12. But yeah, so the Bernie 2020 campaign arranged this get-together outside of the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, which is a few blocks down from the Wells Fargo Arena. Had a bunch of people give speeches there, average working class people talking about their struggles.
And that one guy who worked at McDonald's and was literally told he had to choose to come into his shift instead of getting his pacemaker put in, or he'd be fired.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I felt rage at that. I've heard a lot of stories over the years being involved in this line of work, but that one just pissed me off.
Dude, there's people who hear that and are just like, they don't care. Like, they almost, blame this guy who, I don't know, it's very weird how some people think, dude. Dude,
I don't understand it. And then they had an older guy who worked for
a union.
It was a union job. I can't remember what it was, though. But
he said something really epic too.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's like, we're sick of it, or something like that. But the way he said it is like,
who was it that was like, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired? There was one person who said that. Which is just true. Like, dude, everything in our system is just like, all the things that make our society run are like running on our backs, and it just like gets increasingly more top heavy, and we're just like getting ground into the working class people are just getting ground into dust,
Well, and it's like that Pete Buttigieg CNN fluff piece ad saying he's like the Obama, and it has the rich upper middle class, like liberal people from here in Iowa saying how there's so much energy behind his campaign and stuff. Dude, that Burn Your Eye was legitimately like the labor movement.
So pretty much they organized this speaking event outside of the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. About 1,500 people show up. People spoke on their individual stories as working class people. And then, Bernie called for a march to the event, to Wells Fargo Arena, like down the aisle there going into Hy-Vee Hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was just amazing because there was, 1,500 people walking.
Which is a lot for Iowa.
It's a lot anywhere, really, to march. But
and this is these big rallies and stuff in New York City, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, a rally's different than people shutting down traffic and like marching on the street. So, dude, it was really cool. Like, it just, dude, it was so refreshing and got me reposed to like get more involved, because you're walking down there with 1,500 people and they're all waving signs with all different kinds of like badass things on them, and the Democratic Socialists were out in force like waving their flags, and that was epic to me because I tend to be kind of a Marxist, so it was cool to see the red flags and stuff. And the band was like, they had like a brass band like playing as we went down the street. People were screaming, they're chanting like, Wall Street got bailed out, we got sold out.
Yeah.
And it was cool because, and I'll try to pull up some pictures for you guys here in a second, marching down this like narrow street that's in between the Wells Fargo Arena and then this other building that has a skywalk attached to it, the Hy-Vee Hall. You could see people in the skywalk and like in the office buildings on the side, like videotaping it and watching it, and there's like people cheering, cars going by like beep beep beep, like
honking.
Dude, it just it really felt revolutionary, dude.
Well, and then there's like no reporting on it really.
No.
I do think the Des Moines Register actually, like, they did a good job reporting on it, I thought. But you would hope, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But like if it would have been Biden, CNN would have been like, Biden leads giant march into the...
Yeah, exactly. But dude, it just goes back to that classic saying, the revolution will not be televised, man.
Yeah.
But dude, it was crazy. Like, the energy built as we were marching until we were like literally marched into Hy-Vee Hall, and people were just like chanting and the music and stuff, and there's like people like beating 5-gallon drums, like, dude, and I got really into it. I was like, revolution!
Dude, and Bernie's speech was essentially like a big fuck you to the donors.
Yeah.
Like, all the people around him that he's speaking to are the people, like, he's calling out. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, man. I wish I was a little more prepared so I could pull up some of, like, the speech that he gave. We got to hear it a couple times because after the march, we went into Hy-Vee Hall and they had, like, this big, like, people's dinner. like also in opposition, because you got all these people over in the other building that are corporatists and bureaucrats and lobbyists and shit. And then they just fed all 1,500 people with like a nice dinner and stuff, and they had more music and like more speeches. Bernie came and spoke.
Well, that's another thing. They're trying to say Bernie didn't have any representation at the event.
Yeah,
it's because he didn't send us in there. We had our own thing, and he fed us like a buffet of food.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Whereas like you send the people in to hold these like glow sticks, and it's stupid. Although I am happy that Biden didn't have any people. And that's not because he had some big event for his own people.
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't have it.
Yeah, no, there's no support.
Biden's really going to tank here in Iowa, dude.
Yeah, he's
going to get like 4th, dude.
I mean, they're pretty much just pushing him at this point to take up space, I think. But
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, dude, it was cool because, Bernie gave this speech quoting FDR where he was like, we had to go up against the old money interests, war profiteering, anti-labor, this and that, and he's like, it was just all.
And the Nelson Mandela quote, "It's always impossible until it's done," or something like that.
Yeah, and dude, it was just really. And then he went over there and he gave the same speech,
but it was different when he gave it there, dude.
You could tell, like you said, that he was like in the lion's den.
Yeah,
but it was a big middle finger to the party, but. He made a good move because he did end up donating $20,000 to the
Which there were actually
Party.
Some Bernie people I noticed that were like, why would he do that? And it's like, dude, I've heard establishment people like, Bernie never helps out the party.
Yeah.
Now, he just gave 20, instead of paying to bring his supporters into that event, he just donated money to the party and then had his own event.
I think it was a good
yeah, but I'm sure
publicity
there's
move.
But he's not going to be given any credit for it, so it's like
no, but still, some people that it was still, if it comes up that he never supports a party in a debate or something, he can be like, I just gave $20,000.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart political move.
So yeah, dude, that was so amazing, and then, dude, just the feeling of it, like just there was this love and like hopefulness and stuff.
Well, and it's like you look at all the people there. It's old, young,
veterans, union people.
Yeah, it's exactly like what they act like the party is, but they don't really want.
Well, it's
in a legitimate way.
It's actually represented in the Bernie Sanders movement.
They want that, but to be behind a Wall Street Democrat or something.
Exactly, but it's never going to happen, dude. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can pull up a couple of pictures for you guys so you can kind of take a look at how the event was and stuff. So this one was outside of the Veterans Auditorium, Veterans Memorial Auditorium.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, where everything went all black. I'm just kidding.
What? Oh, no. So yeah, this is the venue where we first met. It was really cool. There's people chanting the whole time. They had this big brass band come up that was really good, actually. Like, it was good music for this sort of deal. Let's see what else I got on here. I wish I could play the video for you guys. That's another thing we're still trying to get figured out. But this was what I talked about earlier. Like, over here on the left is essentially the Wells Fargo Arena, and then over here is Hy-Vee Hall, and here's the Skywalk. And I can't express like what it felt like to something about this specific part of the march just felt so awesome because there's people looking from these glass windows over here and then people up here just videotaping and stuff. And I mean, it's a long column of people. It takes 10-15 minutes, and then we all like climbed up these steps and like went into the building. And dude, I really got into like that part. I was like, we're coming for you, you Wall Street bastards. And I like felt that like it's like I would love for another Occupy Wall Street type of movement.
Well, it literally kind of is that in a presidential campaign.
It is, man. It is. And here's the brass band. This was inside of the People's Celebration. It was pretty sweet. And then it was cool, like, after Bernie spoke and everything kind of, went down, they had, like, a break dancers come up.
Yeah, did you get any pictures of them?
I didn't get any of them.
Think about it,
no. By that time, I was by the time I was exhausted. So that was pretty cool. Here was a flag of the DSA that came out in support. I had a chance to speak with this guy, Brendan Davis is his name. I did an interview with him, and I did an article piece that I'm trying to get published, and if I ever get it published, I'll share it with you guys. But he gave a good interview just kind of talking about like what democratic socialism actually is and like why they're out for Bernie and stuff. This was inside of Hy-Vee Hall. You can just see, this is a big venue space, and it was crammed full of people, man.
Yeah.
And that was just awesome as hell. Yeah, and there's a bunch of people out there, all different types of groups. I thought that sign was pretty badass. This chick here, I don't know her name, but I've seen her around before, but she carries a cardboard cutout of Bernie everywhere.
Yeah.
And her, like, story on Facebook and Instagram is pretty cool, because it's always, like, everything she does, she's like, Cardboard Bernie. It was funny, like, Cardboard Bernie loved seeing the real Bernie give speech. Like, it is pretty funny. This is pretty cool. It
looks way awesome in, like, videos from farther away and stuff.
Yeah, because he, like, moves it around and stuff.
Yeah,
and I
awesome.
think the arms are like, I just realized he has, like, a sign on there and stuff, too. That's pretty cool. Bunch of union guys out. I saw some nurses' union hats, too. And then these are images of what it looks like inside the Wells Fargo arena.
I don't know what it is about that photo. It gives me this.
I want to see if I wish I could zoom in a little bit.
Sucks when you zoom in how it gets, like, pixelated, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh, yeah, that's not that bad.
It just depends on the image. But, like, look at these fuckers. Like, look at the people that are in attendance here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't
not the same type of people.
These aren't Americans, dude. These are Wall Street people, corporate executives, government bureaucrats,
they're
lobbyists.
Americans. They're just of the upper echelons.
Dude, here's the thing, dude.
Of society. They're out of touch with what's going on.
You're not fucking an American to me, dude. You're really not. You're not.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Like, you're part of a ruling class.
Most of them are right-wing economically, too.
Like, dude, look at these fuckers. These are the people that fucking rule you, dude. They don't care. Dude, you're literally... Look at the way that we think about labor. You pay for an hour of somebody's life for a dollar value.
Mm-hmm.
You're cattle to them. You're a commodity to be exchanged at a given rate. And they want to exchange you as a commodity for as low a possible cost to them as is possible, so that they can profit and they can live in their third giant house and go to their weird fucking sex parties and drink Dom Perignon.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about you, dude. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him! Do you think he cares about you? Because he doesn't. And look at this bitch here. I don't know who she is,
That's
but
his wife.
Is it?
Yeah.
Look at her. She really doesn't care. She's probably 75, but she looks so good because she bathes in the blood of babies. You know? They don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying, guys. So, yeah, it's the sort of people in here, but I think this next picture... Why is shit so fucked up, Johnny?
It's the world we're living in.
Sorry. Well, I'm talking about my equipment.
I know. I'm just
But yes.
joking.
Oh, yeah, here's...
our event.
This is our event. Look at all these people, guys.
And that's not even everyone who marched. Like, some people
No,
left.
there's a couple hundred that left, but, man... It was awesome. They had an open bar. Dude, it was cool, too, because it just shows what kind of movement it was, because at the end they had, like, a DJ, like, play music. And you know how, like, at weddings, when people, they try to get the dance party going, sometimes it takes off, it's a good wedding, but a lot of times it'll be, like, 20 people.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody in this room got up and danced. I mean, Johnny and I didn't, because we're way too cool for that. But, like,
It's
no.
not my thing.
I was exhausted, but everybody got up and danced, old and young, and there's just good vibes, and people felt hopeful, man. And dude, it just really felt like revolution, like the peaceful revolution that we're supposed to have.
Yep.
It was pretty funny though. It went from like the classic like music that you'd play at a wedding to like party, and then suddenly like hardcore trap music like Nicki Minaj came on. It was like,
no, it's Cardi B, but
was it Cardi B? I don't know the fucking.
But dude, she said some shit that was like.
And I saw the.
I looked at a couple of the older people there that they were like.
Yeah, man.
It was weird.
It was funny as shit, and they were like, "Oh," because it was like, "I put my fucking pussy on his dick." It's funny. Here was Bernie and Jane. You know, dude, Jane...
He doesn't even look real there for some reason.
Yeah, that's a weird picture I got. That was because it was zoomed in. That was actually cardboard cutout Bernie.
It looks like it almost.
Kind of, doesn't it? I want to find the... I had a good picture from...
It's weird how it won't let you...
I know, it's being a little piece of shit. Nothing works. I hate Windows 10. Whatever, dude. I'm going to drop it at that. I fucking... Unless I can find it on here. Yeah. I had a picture that I wanted to show of... No, that's not it. I don't know where it went. Or is this it? Yeah, this is the inside of the Wells Fargo Arena. This is pretty badass, I will say.
I mean, it definitely fucking looks... They even have, like, smoke effects.
I know. I saw, like, a
Bernie
thing...
walked on stage, there's, like, smoke around him.
Yeah, like a rock star
fucking
thing.
weird.
It was pretty cool. I mean, imagine that, but it was actually legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a fucking awesome time. Yeah, it really made me feel hopeful that things are going to happen. And you know, Johnny, we talk all the time about the ways they're going to try to fuck Bernie. We see it all the time in the news media, how they spin it to make it seem like nothing he does matters, blah, blah, blah. They put Warren and even that Buttigieg,
Buttigieg, I think, is going to come in third.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say second or something, but who knows?
But, yeah, you know, they're always doing shit to try to fuck
dumped all his
Bernie.
money here, and you can see the money.
And, you know, they're going to try to do sketchy shit during the caucuses and primaries, and then also at the conventions leading up. They're going to do sketchy shit. But just seeing the sheer volume of people, even in a smaller town, city like Des Moines, in the rain and the cold, turning out, people that are old and sick, people in wheelchairs, it makes me really hopeful, like, that no matter the level of fuckery they do, we're going to win it, dude. And I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Yeah. I'm optimistic. I just know, like, we saw a lot of sketchy shit in 2016. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, dude, why don't you lay out... You said some kind of profound stuff about what we're up against. Like, the people that we're up against, the fucking... Literally, the dark arts that we're up against, man. Like, it's the same people that produce these wars overseas, that profit off us being sick, that fucking murdered Martin Luther King, probably murdered Malcolm X,
probably killed JFK.
You know, like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And it's like...
They have the pedophile rings.
They're involved in sex trafficking. I mean, Epstein.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Epstein stuff here soon.
Yeah.
But it's dark shit, dude. It literally is. It's just dark. Like, and the more you think into it, the darker it is. Like, the more you look. And it's just like, I don't know. It just literally makes me go, I don't know. Because I know they're capable of fucking anything.
Yeah.
Someone like Bernie, who isn't part of their club, I don't know. And you see how you literally see CNN flipping fucking numbers, like, Bernie's leading New Hampshire at 21%.
22.
Warren at fucking 18. Literally, CNN puts up an image. They flip the numbers, so Bernie's numbers are Warren's, and Warren's are Bernie's, so it makes Warren look on top.
Yeah.
And they act like it's an accident or something. It's not a fucking accident. Like, these accidents never happen for Bernie in a positive way. It's always something to make him...
So it actually came out that they fucked up, right?
That's just one example. This has been happening. Normally, they'll just never address it. Dude. They'll, like, change it later, but it's just to, like... Because they know in that second that someone's watching, someone might be like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just a...
It's a little
digs, like little digs.
You know that saying, repeat... the lie enough times and the people eventually believe it.
And if you don't pay attention to this shady shit and don't really think about it, when someone talks about it, you think they're like a nutty conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But I'm a nerd. I like watch for this shit all day, every day. You see it fucking happen.
Yeah, if you're just like a casual voter who, cares and does get involved and tries to be knowledgeable, but you don't know the fucking dark arts that's going on, you're just going to kind of take what you get off the mainstream media. If you trust
the corporate media at all at this point, you're uninformed.
Yeah.
None of them are trustworthy. Rachel Maddow spouted the Russian shit. And look what came of it. Fucking nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And all it did was now everything's Russian this, Russia that. It's just a way to deflect from fucking corruption in our fucking government.
Yeah, we're up against a giant machine. We're up against... the military-industrial complex that profits off of murdering people overseas.
Wall Street, which really is involved with the military-industrial complex.
Dude, it's all
intertwined.
Dude, I can't remember this quote, but it was some woman who talked about the power of capitalism in the status quo seems insurmountable, just like the power of God. Of divine, just like the power of the divine right of kings felt impossible to overcome in the Middle Ages. But look what happened, we overthrew the kings and stuff, and like, yeah, the system wasn't perfect after that, but we're getting to the next step where we overthrow the fucking ruling class.
Well, and this is why I don't want to label myself as like some socialist or capitalist, like, because I don't think it's necessarily just capitalism that is causing all this corruption.
No,
it's just fucking corruption. There would be corrupt if we were socialists right now and these people were still in the power.
Yeah,
it would still be fucking corrupt.
It'd be a similar thing. But and that's the thing, and we talk about this all. That this comes up, like the difference between socialism and communism and authoritarianism. Dude, at its root, socialism, democratic socialism, social democracy, whatever, it just means democratic. It does not mean the government
authoritarian
alienly managing the thing. Like, that's not what it actually means. It means democratic
really, the
control.
establishment Democrats and the establishment Republicans are authoritarian as fuck in a lot of ways.
They just have this very pretty veneer.
Like I was telling you, I think a real debate would be the Libertarians, like Ron Paul people. I disagree with them a lot, but they're the capitalists, right? And then you'd have the Bernie type of people, the democratic socialism, who believe in more regulations and more, that would be an actual fucking positive thing for this fucking country.
Dude,
instead we have...
On that note, since we're kind of talking about... Yeah, like, you should read this, because what we're talking about is, like, dude, both the parties, Republican, Democrat, we've talked about this 100 times, they serve the same corporate interests, right? They're not actually... and there's factions within it that we see growing now, the Democratic Socialist or / Progressive movement, and then the Libertarian movement, that actually, right or wrong, difference in policy, different in perspective, they care about the American people, and they believe in, they have a message from the people that people actually believe in. And you should read that.
I'll kind of give some background. So, Democratic candidate just won the governor's seat in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. I don't know a whole lot about the actual candidate. From what I understand, he's pretty... I mean, the campaign he ran, he didn't run on fucking Russia and bullshit. He ran on fucking healthcare for Kentuckians.
Democratic governor, right?
Ran on a strong union campaign, but he's no Bernie, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But he actually ran on fucking policies.
Does he seem like a corporate shill, or does he seem like somebody?
I don't know enough to properly say.
Okay.
But personally, if I had to guess, he's more of an establishment Democrat than a progressive. But I don't fully know.
If we're lucky, he's maybe one that cares and wants to make shit better, but maybe doesn't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about him. But anyways, so the Libertarian Party of Kentucky posted this, and it looks like they may have helped actually get the Democratic guy elected.
Yeah.
So I'll read what they posted. In an ideal world, we elect libertarian candidates and advance liberty. Failing that, we push mainstream candidates towards liberty to advance the cause. But if we can't do these things, we are always happy to split the vote in a way that causes delicious tears. Tonight there are plenty of delicious tears from Bevin supporters, and Bevin is the Republican governor. He was the Republican governor that lost.
Yeah.
Had Matt Bevin not ditched his Liberty lieutenant governor for a Mitch McConnell-picked anti-Liberty corrupt running mate who has tried to eliminate Kentuckians' jury trial rights, had Matt Bevin not presided over a huge sales tax increase, had Matt Bevin supported any of our key issues on criminal justice reform, marijuana legalization, expanded gaming, cutting taxes, or acted with the least bit of civility, we probably would not have run a candidate. Of course, he did the opposite, and here we are. We split the vote, and we could not be more thrilled. If our friends in the major parties do not want this to happen again, they should think about passing ranked choice voting and supporting our issues. In the meantime, thank you to John Hicks, Anna Cormicon, Kyle Hugenberg,
blah, blah.
John, yeah. For the Bevin supporters, your tears are delicious. I really like this because
like some Cartman
this
shit. Is
where the Bernie type of people can agree with right-wingers like libertarians, the criminal justice reform, the marijuana legalization. I don't know, it just shows that the Republicans, they run on these issues, and then they fucking do a lot of the same shit the neoliberal Democrats do, like increase taxes, and they're supposed to be the anti-tax party.
Yeah.
They're just full of shit, dude.
They do all the same things. The only thing they do is reel back workers' rights and social safety.
Literally, and that governor was a piece of shit. Like, he went to like to some convention dressed in like this Trump tuxedo, and just like talked shit to liberals,
like with his face all over it and shit,
like a troll online.
Wow,
dude, he was a piece of shit, and like I see why they rejected him, and it's hilarious. The Libertarian Party like played a part.
Yeah,
That's one thing. I do see progressives going. We if we do have to fall in line, if we do get a neoliberal, otherwise we will get a Republican. I see some of them say that, not all. We need to be more like the Libertarians. Like, no, if you fuck us and don't do anything we want, we'll split the fucking vote with a third party candidate.
Yeah,
because it's bad in the short term, but I don't know. I see why the Libertarians do that shit.
If things go south, we have to stick to our guns.
Because if you fuck the Democratic Party over multiple times, now this is if they care. We could go into the debate that they don't even care if they lose, which is possible.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
But if they do care and still want to win, they'll realize you have to fucking listen to the progressive base or you're never going to win. The thing is, though, I don't know if they really care. So
I think sometimes the Democrats literally lose on purpose.
It seems like it,
because, man. Dude, think about this. Yes, those guys want their jobs because they'll move up in their fucking little club.
But they're losing on purpose for a reason.
Because, dude,
they're going to get paid in some way.
Here's the thing. The Democrats, when they're in power and they're like corrupt pieces of shit and all that, they have to do things like kind of slow because they have to keep their base. So they're kind of like the face of like, social justice. They have to fuck people over in like a slower way. So to me, the people that are funding both parties, they don't really care if the Democrats end up losing because if the Republicans win, they can fast track all the like tearing down the EPA, anti-business regulations, all that shit, man. And you can say what you want, and we kind of talked about this, but you can say what you want about the Libertarians. My opinion on Libertarians is this: their heart is in the right place. I genuinely think, most of them anyway, they genuinely care about the American people. They genuinely believe in liberty and freedoms.
And we agree on foreign policy.
Criminal justice. There's
a lot of things we agree on.
There's several things that we can get done just if they took over the Republican Party, right?
Thing is, the establishment Democratic Party wouldn't fight for the things we want either, so it would just be a shit show still.
Yeah. But I'll say this, unfortunately, the thing with the Libertarians is they're ideologues, meaning that they almost have like a pseudo-religion in this idea of quote-unquote liberty, quote-unquote freedom, to where it pollutes their perspective of how civilization and how societies actually have to run. Taxation is theft and this and that. Dude, it is theft how it is right now. They're just stealing our money and waging wars with it and giving it to corporations.
Bullshit.
But if we get our social democratic policies done, they're not stealing your money. The government's borrowing
it to help society in big ways.
The government's essentially borrowing it from you to make an investment in the stability and future of our country and in the people.
But like I was saying, it would be real debates taking place if it was social democrats, libertarians.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the ideal United States that we need.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's literally...
all the criminal justice shit, all that shit would be agreed on and voted in.
Yeah.
And then we'd have real economic debates.
Like,
pretty much, that's what it would be.
Yeah, like, dude, you can picture an ideal world where the social democrats, or justice democrats, whatever you want to call them, take control of the Democratic Party. The old order is just beaten down, destroyed, and powdered. And then a similar thing happens in the Republican Party where the Libertarians take over. And then we get, a mix in our Congress, right? Maybe we wouldn't get, let's say it's a straight up 50-50. We probably wouldn't get Medicare for all. We probably wouldn't get a Green New Deal, right? But we would get an audit on the Pentagon. The overseas wars would end. Marijuana would be legalized, and even perhaps more.
The Federal Reserve, I think, would actually be taken on.
Yeah. A lot of great things would happen. It wouldn't be the whole cake. But you know what? This comes to another subject that we've talked about with Democrats and stuff of the establishment ones. They come into a debate, into the public sphere with a policy that's already half-ass. Like Warren's Medicare for all. Or Obamacare was already half-assed.
Yeah, I heard Warren's broken down. It just...
You got some facts on that?
No, because it's complicated as fuck, but it essentially just...
You should drop that little bit that you told me about how they can pretty much wave it out of the way.
Yeah, it pretty much... dude, it's complicated to me because this shit's fucking complicated. Whereas Bernie's is just like, no, we're eliminating the fucking private health insurance. Yeah. Bernie's is more clear and cut. This shit's like, we're going to do the number, like... It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, the main thing that you're telling me is that pretty much it'll allow the Medicare for All to still be administered by employers.
Yeah, and all employers would have to do is do like what the WWE does with professional wrestlers. What do they call that?
Contracting.
They call you a private contractor or whatever.
Yeah, you're under a contract.
You're not an employee legally.
And then you don't get access to health care.
Yeah.
And they'll do that en masse.
Yeah.
Just like they tried to make it... They tried to make labor laws in the past where it was like... If you work a certain number of hours, you have to give people health care. You have to give them vacation. You have to give them X and X and X and X. What'd they do?
Just cut your hours, shit like that.
They just keep your hours below that amount. Or they contract you from a temp service. Or, like in the case of some of these big retail outlets, they do seasonal work and use you while they need you and then kick you out when they're done.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just more of the same shit, man. But, you know, you had a little more hopeful news. You know, we were kind of talking about, you know, that march and whatnot. Kind of, it made me feel hopeful. It made me feel revolutionary. It made me feel like we can do this no matter what. You talked about some polls coming out of Michigan at all?
I think it's 73%. 73% of young voters in Michigan are voting for Bernie.
And that's a key state, man.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Fucking Biden should be dominating in Iowa. He's supposed to be the big candidate of unions and the white working class. That's what they fucking started out the campaign, like what he was going to be.
With Biden, yeah.
You're tanking with those people. So what the fuck? He's not even going to the California Democratic Convention coming up. Neither is Warren, by the way, which I see fucking Californian progressives are fucking pissed.
Yeah,
like,
you've seen
it's
them?
like they feel entitled... Like Warren
we're gonna win
entitled to the vote.
Yeah,
I think Biden just knows he's fucked in California.
Yeah. He just
like,
you know what, that touches on another subject that you and I discussed off air of this attitude towards the South. I don't know if I sent you that meme or you liked it or something, where it talks about, you know, the Democratic Party continuously loses in the South, right?
Because they don't even try.
Yeah, and they talk about they don't bother with the resources because it's so heavily red, right? But in reality, the South is one of the most diverse places in the nation. It has the most Latins, it has the most immigrants, it has the most black people. You know, everybody down there is mixed in one way or another, pretty much. You know, when you think of the South, you think of, like, Hicks and, like, fucking rednecks and Ku Klux Klan and Confederate flags, but really, dude, that's a very small minority. The reason why those groups gain so much power there is because the white people, and maybe I'm wrong on my stats, but the white people are a minority there, so they're, like, afraid, you know, because they get stirred up by politicians and all that. But what this thing was talking about is, meanwhile, while we think it's this impossible fortress of conservative red thought, we'll never ever win it. In reality, if you got down and talked to individual people, it's mostly blue, dude. It's a purple state.
There's this guy in Virginia. I think he's a state. I don't know if he's a state rep or actually a member of Congress. I feel like a state rep. But he's literally like a socialist, kind of. Like he's more.
In Virginia?
Yeah, he's more so than like AOC and stuff, I would say.
Farther left, even?
It seems like it. Like, he ran in 2017 originally, and he just got reelected again.
Yeah.
He beat a Republican who was in power for 40 years, and this is like they're pretty right wing in Virginia.
Yeah.
And he ran on like left liberal policies. Like,
well, it's
hardcore.
not even that the people aren't even necessarily right wing. It's just that. And that's what this thing was talking about. The reason why Democrats don't win down there is, one, they don't put in the effort to try to win. They don't have candidates. They have bullshit candidates down there.
Like a Republican. Well, essentially what we get here in Iowa.
Dude, the South is deep into the labor movement and shit. Like, all the stuff that happened back in the day with, like... Dude, you know where the term redneck comes from, right?
You've told me this
It comes from the labor people down there, especially in Virginia and the coal mining places. They wore red bandanas to, like, cover their face because they were, like, militants. And they'd be out in the woods doing a guerrilla war against the corporations there, right? And that's a prime example of if you get somebody who's actually catering to that labor movement mentality that is in the South, that's where a lot of our manufacturing and shit is, right? You can win. And so one thing of it is that the Democrats have shitty candidates down there, and then they don't campaign because they just think it's a loss. No matter what, it's going to go red. And then the other thing is we don't do anything to take down the voter suppression and the voter suppression and the gerrymandering that happens down there.
Well, and what party
That's
passed
why
NAFTA
Republicans
too?
win, dude.
What party passed NAFTA?
Democratic
Party.
Yeah.
People don't forget this shit. People do not forget this fucking... Trade is way bigger than people realize. Like, some people think...
Trade?
Yeah, like, people in the media and shit try to think, like, stupid working class. They don't think about that.
Yeah.
The TPP was a major fucking thing that Bernie was against and Trump was against.
Yeah.
Trump harping about being against it.
That's what won him the South, dude.
It helped him win in a lot of ways and all over the country. And Hillary said she was against it. Meanwhile, she called it the fucking...
New gold standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, dude. People like to think... And you know what? There are racists that support Trump.
For sure.
And they've made a rise because they feel empowered by him. Because the guy is a fucking megalomaniac and he says fucked up shit. I'm not denying that. I never will. It's a fact. But he didn't win with rural voters and with the South and with the Rust Belt and the Bible Belt because of that. He won because he was talking like a populist.
He won fucking Michigan. Bernie would have won Michigan, dude. I'm convinced
it wouldn't have even been... Dude, I really believe in 2016, if it would have been Bernie v. Trump, it would have been a landslide for Bernie.
Even in an Iowa poll, I could be wrong, but I think Bernie beats Trump in an Iowa poll.
Dude, I think it was a huge number, too. I don't know about right now, but in 2016, it was like a huge number. And this isn't just me, like, statistics and crunching numbers. I've spoken with people as a door knocker, as an activist, where they're like, well... You know, right before Hillary won the nomination, they were like, well, if Bernie wins, I'll probably vote for him, but if it's Hillary, I'll vote for Trump.
In these polls that show Biden in the lead or whatever, we also have to realize, like, these polls are only polling Democratic voters. What Bernie is doing is getting people who don't usually vote or, like, independents. They're not being properly polled.
Yeah.
Like in Michigan, he was supposed to lose Michigan, and then he won, and it was this big surprise.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been that big of a surprise if you were fucking polling correctly. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I don't understand why you'd pay all this money for polls if you know they're good. It's like they want them to be skewed so they can report it, and I don't know. These polls are fucking weird.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing with the polls. It's not just, you know, the fact that they're just polling Democratic voters. It's also the age group. And these ones that they're So in the polls that they're showing where like Bernie seems to always, and granted that one that you talked about was like flipped and it was pure fuckery.
Yeah, they literally flipped the numbers.
But they're all fuckery in that it shows these polls, but who are they polling? One, just Democratic voters, right? Which fucking age group? And you and I have talked about this, I think off air, where if you look, dude, they don't poll 18 to 36-year-olds.
35.
Which is the biggest voting block in America ever. It's like twice as big as baby boomers because all the baby boomers are dying off. They don't incorporate that. It's all older people that watch fucking bullshit TV. They're still plugged into cable.
Well, and something else not talked about, and I don't think this is a negative for Bernie, and some people in the Democratic Party act like it is. People's top choices sometimes, like the non-voters usually, are Bernie and Trump.
Yeah.
And people, like Democratic Party loyalists are like, how could that be? They're so different. And like, dude, people don't think in party lines. A lot of people don't. Like, they want a candidate who's going to shake shit up.
Yeah.
Like,
they hear a populist message. That's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to take on the money interest.
And Trump has fucked up and not done a lot of any of the populist shit, really. If it's Bernie, dude, he's gonna fucking demolish.
It's gonna be a landslide.
Piece of shit Democrat, a neoliberal Democrat, Trump will probably fucking win again because at least Trump knows how to fucking campaign. Dude.
Because he knows how to campaign, and also there's been some things he's done that have been good for working class.
He can just use Bernie's rhetoric against these people.
Yeah, and even if the things that he's done haven't actually been good, he has these PR things that he's done. Like in one episode, he talked shit about the fucking GM CEO. And them closing shit down. That stuff, whether he's actually doing the policy or not, it's the populist message. Dude, I guarantee you if Bernie wins this nomination, dude, it's going to be he's going to murder Trump, dude. Because imagine them on the stage. The shit that Trump does that won him...
won't work against Bernie, dude.
The stuff that won him the Republican primary and won so many votes in the DVR fucking debates, it's not going to work on Bernie, because people always talk shit about how Bernie just keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. Dude, in a thing against Trump, that's going to be his greatest strength. Because he's just going to be like, stop talking about this. You're trying to negate. We need to talk about getting health care for people.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And like that's exactly what happened. And dude, if it's him versus Trump, it's gonna be a fucking blood on the floor, like 70%.
My dream, dude. Tulsi Gabbard is VP. It'd be so good, dude. I don't know if it happened, but
she might be more useful in a way
as Secretary
of State.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe. I think that's the best space for her.
But she's a Russian puppet, so...
Yeah, that's why I want her there, is because as a Marxist, I'm trying to get our Russian brothers to take over our country.
We should actually tie in Tulsi, though. She was just on The View, like, yesterday or a day or... I think a couple days ago.
That was a good segue, Johnny. You're learning the trade.
Yeah. No, she owned, dude. Yeah. Literally called them out to their faces, how they talk... I
want to see if I can find something about that.
They continue the narrative,
Yeah. Yeah, the View is with
said how Joy, the red-haired one, called her like a Russian asset or something, and you can tell that Joy's just like, oh fuck, she's calling me out.
Yeah, dude,
it's hilarious. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to look this up. Yeah, she fucking... Dude, that's why I love Tulsi so much, is she just goes for the fucking jugular in a way that, like, Bernie doesn't. Because, like, Bernie's smart, so he's, like... He kind of toes the line when it comes to, certain aspects of being involved in the Democratic Party. Like, obviously, I talked about the $20,000 donation to the Democratic Party. That's a good example of... And you can even hear it when he gives a speech. He says certain things and does certain things to not alienate certain groups or certain concepts within the Democratic Party. But Tulsi doesn't do that. She just straight up goes in. Like, we talked about her whole thing on the Democratic debates with Kamala Harris. She just fucking straight up bit that woman's throat out. Bit Kamala Harris's throat out. And She did the same thing on The View here. It's trying to get me to subscribe. But let's see. What do we got? Meghan McCain called her an Assad apologist who is spouting propaganda from Syria after Hillary Clinton insinuated that the Russians were grooming Gabbard to run on a third-party ticket. Joy Behar called her a useful idiot.
Oh, yeah. She literally attacked Joy for, like, saying she's an idiot. And it's funny, like, when she's there, Joy can't say shit. She's just, like, bum. It literally seems like Joy just reads off a script.
I wonder if there's a video of that, because I can at least...
There is. It's, like, 6 minutes, though. You'll have to... I don't know which one it is, either. Because they upload, like, 3 different clips.
I wouldn't be surprised if they took it down, too, just because... Because I want to actually hear it. I don't know, dude. Let's see, what else do we got here? Fucking...
Great and small.
I'm Tom Steyer, and I'm running for president.
DAV, I don't know what that is.
Before I answer the first question, what's happening?
Makes me sad that Whoopi's turned into a piece of shit, because I loved her movies growing up.
So did I.
I loved her, dude. She was the best thing ever. And she was a great comedian.
She's just not a touch fucking liberal, dude.
What is that?
So...
Do you have any idea at all, like, where it might be in the video? Couple minutes in?
I don't know. I really don't.
It was decided that they were going to go on.
Confronted the hosts for accusing her of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot. I think is the term what you used, which basically means that I am naive or lacking in intelligence.
Yeah, and Joy's just like... Joy tries to, like, joke and, like, sidestep it that she's obviously calling Joy out. I don't know. It's
right here.
Traitor to my country.
Oh, dirty bird!
Thing that I think is also important about facts. because recently on your show here...
I was just going to get to that.
Good.
This is so good, dude.
You want me to ask you?
No, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color. And
girl.
Dude, she did the identity politics against the people who do identity politics.
Protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
We're getting a little bit far ahead of ourselves, but Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing.
Oh, dude, she's pooping her pants.
Richard Spencer, the white nationalist
I can see the sweat percolating on her pounds of makeup.
You're on Tucker Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here, because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary Clinton started it, and then you shot back at her, boy. You called her the queen of warmongers.
You doubled down, unfortunately, on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am. I'm a soldier. Because of the attack on 9/11, I enlisted in the military to go after and defeat and destroy the evil that visited us on that day. I've served now for over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East during the height of the war, where every single day I saw firsthand
she got a bazooka.
Human cost. That's why I ran for Congress.
We actually have the clip of Hillary Clinton, just to put this in context. But what we're talking about, let's take a look at that.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of, sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
So really? I mean, this is outrageous. This is outrageous and offensive on so many levels. I've served as a member of Congress now for almost 7 years, receiving high-level national security and intelligence briefings, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, working to ensure the safety and security of the people of this country. This is why I'm running for president, to continue that commitment of service.
So are you surprised, though, that when people see bots and things and all the things?
Yeah.
Oh, that was way too badass for me. Dude, I hope she runs in 2024 again, dude. Do you think she will?
Oh, yeah, she's young as shit.
I get so excited, dude.
Dude, Hillary Clinton's such a fucking piece of shit, dude.
Dude, how can you, I just don't understand how you can be her age and, have children. Dude, they're just they're straight up sociopaths. They're barely human beings.
Yeah.
How can you support this shit? They know people are dying overseas. They know their fellow citizens are... That's what I'm saying. They're not Americans. They know people are homeless in the streets. They know people are sick and dying. They know there's a mental health crisis. They know people are getting shot to death. They know people can't afford their houses.
They don't give a fuck, Dylan. They got a cocktail party on a yacht with fucking
makes me
Jeffrey Epstein to go to.
Yeah. God damn it. That's something, though. Epstein, we haven't talked about him yet.
I'm just going to tie... I don't even really want to focus on it. He didn't kill himself. He was strangled. A doctor fucking said so.
Yeah, dude.
That's all you can really say.
Yeah,
man.
because, what happened with it, though? His brother, Epstein's brother?
Epstein's brother, wanted it.
Had a legit third-party autopsy done, yeah?
Yeah.
And they said, and then that coroner said that the fractures are more consistent with strangulation.
And they said he tried to kill himself previously while he was in custody. From what I understand, that's not even true, and he was roughed up by a cellmate.
Yeah, they talked about that.
But it sounds like it. They built the story up so when the suicide, quote unquote, happened, it was he tried to do it.
Dude, I love how the internet is I'm kind of getting irritated by it. Dude, they keep duping me.
Dude, I know you'll be reading these hardcore fact, and then at the end it's just and Epstein didn't kill himself, and you're like, oh shit,
it's awesome, man. Yeah, man. I'll be reading something about like some arts and crafts or something.
I love that one.
And I'm like, oh god damn it! It's like that game, the game where not the ball game, but the one where they're like, you just lost a game, and you're like, I have no idea how, but I did.
Yeah,
it's like that to me, dude.
I love the one where it's like, if you want your house to smell like fall, boil like orange peels and like all this shit, and it's like, it just seems like a wholesome fall meme, and then it's like, and Epstein didn't kill himself. I was like,
bro.
Damn, I didn't see that.
I saw one too that was like phrases that people usually get wrong, and it's like supposedly fucking specific instead of Pacific, and then like in the middle of it, it's like Epstein committed suicide, and then it's like slash Epstein didn't commit suicide. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, it's almost like those memes have done something in a way, because now we're getting this out. What do you think?
There's that Project Veritas. I think that's how you pronounce it. They released that video of that anchor saying she had the story 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
She works for ABC, and it was like a hot mic. She was like talking to her producer or something, like, and it was still filming, but she didn't. It wasn't like something that was broadcasted.
There's a video clip of that, right?
Yeah.
Did you send that? Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yep. Here it is.
We could play
talk about that a little bit more, because.
But essentially, she had the story, and like key witnesses like 3 years ago, and higher ups at ABC made her kill the story.
Okay. Yeah. Is it right off the bat?
It plays a clip of it right off the bat, and then I don't know. Project Veritas.
What is it?
They've exposed a lot of shit, but they're kind of right wing, and they've done like those abortion videos that were like supposedly Planned Parenthood was like selling the babies.
Oh yeah.
So, and I don't fully even know all that story, so let's not even go into that. But this is actually being like, a lot of people are like, this is solid journalism.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I know Alex Jones talked about that, but I'm going to jump into this here, guys, for you. Oh, that's an epic beginning.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had
the royal family, because a prince is connected to it.
In a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed, because I'm just like, oh my god, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known.
He might have came into the back. Damn. That's fucked up, bro. Yeah, dude. And you said the fucking prince is involved?
Yeah, one of the princes. He's like the fuck up prince.
Dude, I'm sorry. I think the Illuminati's fucking real. Might not be called that. But the Illuminati,
it's a tie of big wealthy interests.
Just everybody, because it's
not hard to fathom. Like,
hey, I'll trade you the diamond mining in the Congo.
They have if anything, call them the Bilderbergs. They have the Bilderberg meeting every year.
If you let me drill oil in your country, we'll sell you the blood diamonds cheap, and we'll sell you all these.
Yeah, but no, that's nutty, man. It's like, all right.
Well, dude, okay, so here's the thing. Here's why it's not nutty. That there's, I don't want to call it a secret society, but there's a group of people who rule the whole world and do all their tendrils to influence everything so they can get more wealthy and more powerful or whatever. Here's why it's not nutty. We look at all of human history. Kings, noblemen, corrupt governments, dictatorships, the USSR and their bureaucratic thing of the party. We know that in nearly every civilization ever in recorded history on Earth has had some ruling class that manipulated the governments to do the things that they... Look at ancient Rome, look at fucking, Louis the 13th before the French Revolution, etc., 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 right? There's always this group that has interests that don't coincide with the working class. And they always do shit to keep their power or compound their power so they can live more lavish wealth and et cetera, et cetera. We know that. That's a fact. Nobody will ever deny that, yeah? Okay. That was back before there was internet, before there was phones, you know, and they still had this network.
Planes.
Whatever, yeah. Before the modern age. And it would be in these little countries, right? And it wouldn't really go far in that, and every country would have their own.
Yeah.
What's so hard to believe? What is so unfathomable about the fact that now there's cell phones, there's internet, there's planes, there's trains, there's highways, whatever, that all the people, and we all know trade occurs overseas, and there's multinational corporations and on every country in the face of the earth, McDonald's, Walmart, blah, 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 right? We know it. It's fact. Mm-hmm. What is so hard to believe that with all the new science and technologies and ways to communicate, that these people... The world has become a single country now, in a sense. The world has become small. Why is it so hard to believe that the same principle of economic oppression and classism is now on a bigger global scale, and it's all interconnected the way that our computers and phones and shit are interconnected?
Yep. I don't know. I don't understand how people don't fathom.
And like I said, it ain't the Illuminati. It ain't, we could make a case about the fucking... people speaking Latin and fucking in goat heads, and maybe all that's not real. I think it probably is.
Yeah.
But maybe all fucking sci-fi occult nonsense aside, we still know these guys all have the same interests, and it helps them to help each other.
Yep.
You jerk me off, I jerk you off. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. Let's have a big party. And we'll celebrate it at that fucking weird-ass Malak thing. What is that called?
Yeah,
Malak. The grove of... Jesus Christ, fucking whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? A couple more stories I want to touch on. We'll try to fucking finish this up, actually, because I gotta go get Emerson soon. But the Nestle slave labor thing. I sent Johnny this article showing that Nestle and then it was fucking, let me double check it quick, because it was fucking Nestle... Hershey's, Nestle, and Mars are still using child labor on cocoa farms in Latin America and in the Caribbean and in Africa. So let me fucking make this clear to you guys. Hershey's, Mars, Nestle, these giant corporations that just feed you your fucking Halloween candy, right? They own land, right? Or contract out land in these parts of the world that are impoverished third world countries, and they have fucking children, probably my kids' age or a little bit older, 6-year-olds, picking the cocoa that you fucking eat, the coffee that you drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Up. They're profiting off of child labor, and there's other shit that's come out, like slave labor. We know these companies are using... Dude, in the Congo where they mine fucking cobalt that makes the screens they use children, and they're fucking slaves that are bought and sold, and the company doesn't care, dude. And it's fucked up. This goes into a bigger thing of like, dude, I would love to sit here and be like boycott and this and that, but they have such a stranglehold on everything that's created and produced and the means of production in this country that, like, if you boycotted everything, you wouldn't be eating nothing.
I know, right?
But it's sad to me because every time you eat a piece of chocolate, every time you eat a banana, a Chiquita banana, we talked about this where, dude, Chiquita banana, if you go to Target and buy bananas, that company got caught with crates full of AK-47s with bananas on top. They were shipping it to right-wing rebels to try to overthrow a socialist government there. Yeah. Because they own all the land. And if the leftists, if the socialists get power, they're going to nationalize it. And then the profit's going to go to the government to try to help the people there. Yep. Instead of being owned by the giant fruit corporations. Dude, it's fucked up. So every time you eat a banana, drink a cup of coffee, eat your fucking piece of Halloween candy, use your cell phone, whatever, oil, whatever, everything you do as as a citizen in the Western world, you're contributing to empire. And the only way we're going to change it is if we fucking overthrow this oligarchic government that does their bidding and make it so that we trade fairly with these companies or with these countries. It's fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, it's depressing. It's a lot to fucking think about that people don't really think about, too.
And then people wonder why I had a drinking problem for fucking 10 years. Because I knew this shit when I was 15, 16, dude. I read about it, I was like, what? And then I was like, I saw a bottle of brandy, and I was like, well, this is you know?
Yep.
And people don't want to look at it, man. It's fucking sad. I was going to talk about the China video game thing. I guess on a little lighter note, I'll just close out on it. I know this, we got a little hardcore with this, but China has recently passed laws to try to, and I read into it more. You know, we have an epidemic of screen usage in America, and we're doing like nothing to stop it. Because what do you do? Inhibiting personal freedom, I believe in that and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But China passed laws saying if you're going to play video games, it has to be limited to an hour and a half a day. If you spend money on...
I'll cause the revolution right there.
Dude, what if that was it?
I'd be fucking pissed, dude.
It wouldn't surprise me, though.
No.
Because that's how people are.
Yeah.
You can fuck them in the butt, but you take their vices away, and then they're like, ah!
Yeah.
You know? Dude, you know what would cause a revolution? If you took away the nicotine, the caffeine, and the liquor, dude, the next week, people will be like, we're not doing it anymore! You know? And that's just human nature. I'm not going to be pessimistic about it. It's just how it fucking is. But yeah, so China's doing this, limit to an hour and a half a day, no more than $60 a month spent on microtransactions or subscriptions or whatever.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and you were kind of talking about, you know, this is why China scares me. It's because they're able to...
control their people.
For right or wrong. It's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's inhibiting you. But they're able to control their people and mobilize their people in a way that... besides outright catastrophe in the United States government will never be able to do. You know?
No. Not that I can see. We'd
you
fucking...
know. Dude, the thing...
something about being American, like, fuck you.
Yeah, which is great, though.
Yeah.
Which is great. But here's the thing about Americans, though. When it comes down to an actual catastrophe, like look at the Great Depression or World War II, and despite us becoming more fat and lazy and self-entitled, right? I'll admit to those things. Despite that, if we fall in hard times, I think we will come together as a country in a way that other countries might not even be able to, man. Because it's more than just the fact that we're Americans and this fucking flag over here, right? It's when you get past all the divisiveness and the so-and-so, turn your fucking phone off next time.
Yeah, I know. Normally I silence it.
Fucking ruined my speech.
I doubt anyone even heard it. You just ruined your own speech.
I know. Whatever. But, when it comes down to it, there's something that we have, despite all the, you know, fuck you to the government and the divisiveness and stuff, is the American dream. And you could say, you know, it's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. But people do believe in it. And it's something that exists only here. It doesn't exist anywhere else. You come here, you can be an American, and you can be who you want to be if you work hard. And I think that's our greatest strength as a country, that if shit ever hit the fan, there's a world war, or America ever got invaded, the belief in that is like a belief in God, to the point where it will rally everybody together. You know?
One could hope.
One can hope. Is there anything you want to kind of lead us out with, John? Any final thoughts at all, or?
No, I'm kind of depressed now after our little discussion about...
I tried to do a pep talk at the end.
It didn't work.
I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, it is kind of depressing, but...
It's deeply depressing.
Well, if it's depressing, I'll end it with a sad song here.
Let's do a sad song.
We'll do Enigma Knots. We haven't done them in a while. But first, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, help us grow. To support the podcast, subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/double_D. There you can access all of my written work, including poetry, flash fiction, and full-length short stories, all for less than what you spend on a cup of coffee or lunch every day. Show your loyalty, help us grow, read some damn good stories and some damn good poetry. Help make our dream a reality. To further support the podcast, check out our sponsor, Bingley's Teas, at janeaustinteas.com. There you can find high-end teas handpicked and mixed by the lovely Miss Julia. or visit Julia in person at 118 East 26th Street, suite number 208, to satisfy that deep tea addiction and to be taken on a tea tour of the world. All right, guys, let me see if I can get the music going. I hope. All right. It's been nice hanging out with you guys. This has been episode number 16. John Boy, nice hanging out with you as always. Take it easy, guys. Stay involved, get active, and don't forget to caucus for Bernie on February 3rd, all right?
And remember, Epstein did not kill himself.
Epstein did not kill himself. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.
That I don't